So,
All right.
here's how we will handle this. This is going to be a group effort. So we have Lieutenant Tahana trying to create this computer model to see if you can try to figure out how people, how this affliction is manifesting in people and what might be causing it. So that's one thing. What is everyone else trying to do to aid in this situation? And just for the benefit of everybody, one of the things that you found is there was a in the town square, quote unquote, or where they opened up that brand new wing, there was a statue of something that couldn't really be identified because it looked like it was melting. Like it was still solid stone, but it looked like it had liquefied. And
I think this statue was what the geologist was working on, at least to model that.
Yes, you saw that a miniaturized version in clay of a very Greek-like, god figure like Zeus with giant pecs, holding up an eye. And that's what the statue should have looked like. Instead, it looks like this sort of Cthulhian nightmare.
Maybe it's not that bad an idea to actually get back to the colony and take a closer look at what's happening there. We do have a crack pilot. We have a very good pilot.
I was just going to say, we do have another shuttlecraft, and we're going to have to get the first one back at some point anyway.
Yeah. So maybe splitting up, sending someone down, and
cool.
That will probably work out fine. It's. I'm very confident that we can manage that.
Great.
Have we tried to overcome the issues regarding transporting down on the planet? Mechanically, have you guys rolled for it in previous sessions?
We sort of did. We set up pattern enhancers.
Okay.
But presumably, the place where we set up pattern enhancers, the ceiling collapsed.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll say that, scans are absolutely a thing that you could do from this conference room. The visitors center was pretty well hammered by this storm. It's still navigatable, so if you wanted to go down, it is possible, but you're going to be like crawling through the wreckage in order, or crawling through debris in order to get there.
Yeah, I think we can manage. If I accompany someone, I might actually get them through.
Cool.
So we can do that.
All right. So we're going to have Lieutenant Tahana working on this neural pattern analysis. I'm assuming, and you tell me if this is wrong, Foss, you're going to be piloting a shuttlecraft down.
I'd be honored.
What would everyone else like to be doing? Commander Strohm, it looked like you wanted to head on down and then assist with this away team.
Yeah, because I actually can direct people in regard of some physical action so that they don't get harmed. So I'm probably the best to do that. And
okay.
Of course, someone should take a look at the melting statue or so. So someone with way more science ability than I have should accompany us too.
I could.
Sorry.
I was going to say I could go down for two reasons. My science skill is decent. I'm fairly bright. I've got a 3 in con, so I could fly the shuttle. God forbid there was an emergency. I'm not very good at it, but I'm competent. And I'm also wondering if the storm passing through might have damaged the first shuttle that we left down there. So there's a reasonable chance that it could need to get fixed. So I would think I would, I would suggest that I go along.
Okay. Great. So that leaves Dr. Phlox. What are you up to?
I thought Lieutenant Tahana wanted me to help with this.
I mean, I definitely could use some help because I'm not a brain surgeon.
Okay.
So, I mean, feeding medical data into the medical data program is probably a good idea.
Great. So
So I'm going to get a pad and walk over to Lieutenant. This is going to be fun. Lieutenant Shee.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hand you the pad and say, Lieutenant, I was forced to raise the shields on the Rumpelstiltskin in order to try and shield it from the hurricane force winds. Here are the command codes I used so that when you do get down there, you can hopefully deactivate the shields remotely.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
and this kind of awkward moment between you two passes.
Temperature of the room goes down about 2 degrees.
Right. Yeah. So, Commander Kassar will say, "Well, in that case, keep me updated. I want progress reports every hour, and stay safe. Commander Strohm, if you require some additional support, feel free to call in a few ensigns to come with you."
I think we can manage, but we need here to secure the phaser energy cells so that nothing else is happening here. But I think the away team should actually be equipped with phasers, because down there the colonists they do have weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he will ask for a ship-wide phaser shutdown and or a relinquishing of them. We'll say that's going to be an advantage, so he'll work to implement that. If you raise another momentum, if you want to spend 2 of them, I will allow that advantage to take into effect. So we'll say he's going to get to work on that, but you're going to need 1 more momentum for that to actually happen.
So how would we do that?
Basically, I'm going to put that on pause, and if at any point during this next bit, if you're like, hey, we have 2 momentum, let's create the advantage that a phaser lockdown has happened, then we can do that.
So maybe you order your Lieutenant Junior Gray to round up the phasers.
I'd say I'd coordinate that before we leave with our away team on the shuttle. I'd coordinate that, and that might work.
Yeah, definitely. So let's do it. So let's handle it this way. First things first. Let's get the easy bit out of the way. Thos, you're gonna have to fly a ship down. Now you're gonna find another small shuttlecraft. Now the Griffin's shuttlecraft are all named after mythological creatures or folklore, so we have to come up with another name.
How about the Hydra?
I was going to suggest the USS Griphook from Harry Potter.
Does anyone have any objections to that? I also heard Hydra.
You said mythological creature, so.
It's the,
and I was looking for something with a shorter name than Rumpelstiltskin.
The Centaur class is named after mythological creatures, so we decided our shuttlecraft would all be proper names of specific mythological creatures.
Oh, so what about Medusa? If you're looking for a proper name.
Medusa.
Krampus.
Krampus.
The Krampus.
The Malkovich.
I like Medusa. We will do that one first. And then these other ones we can bank for a later day. So let's
Yay.
handle this.
Yay, I
Um,
named a shuttle.
You're going to have to make a piloting check in order to get down onto the ship, or to get back onto the planet's surface.
If
Okay.
you have some skill in con, do you have the ability to assist the pilot? Like, how does assisting work in the game?
Basically,
You roll
yeah,
1d20,
yeah.
and if you succeed, you contribute a success to the person, but you only
Oh.
get to roll 1d20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you are a Starfleet and everyone's kind of cross-trained, anyone can help anyone else. I don't allow too much dogpiling, but yeah, you can absolutely help him be a co-pilot if you have an applicable focus. That comes into effect too. But yeah, you'd roll one d20, and as long as the primary roll succeeds, then your roll counts.
Okay. And what's the applicable attribute and discipline?
We're gonna say, whoop, this is gonna be.
You're flying into a hurricane, so maybe daring.
Daring con sounds pretty good. Actually, daring is more like, snap decisions and be like, hey, I have to just do something quickly. But we've never used daring, so I'm gonna say, yeah, daring con. Difficulty on this is going to be. I'm gonna say difficulty on this is going to be 3, because this is hard. I will spend one of my threat to raise the complication range up by 1. So the complication range is now at 2.
Okay. Now I have a talent which is push the limits.
Okay.
Says when you attempt a contest that is increased in difficulty due to environmental conditions or damage to the engines, reduce the difficulty by 1 to a minimum of 1.
Okay, so I will reduce the difficulty down to 2.
May I assist? Last time I actually managed to get our other shuttle safety down, so maybe I can give you some hints.
Sure. Can we? Well, that's a combat test. There's a navigator combat test for charting a hazard, I think. Would that apply here, or is that kind of out of the realm of what we're doing?
I think that's more in ship combat.
Okay.
This is more dealing with rough winds.
Okay. All right. So.
Cool. So difficulty 2, daring con.
right.
Let me see. Thos, what kind of focuses have you?
Got
say, helm operations definitely applies here.
Okay.
So could I assist you too?
I'm only, because it's a small shuttle, I'll say that there's and plus it's a difficulty 2. I'll allow 1 assist as a co-pilot. If there are too many backseat drivers, that's going to cause a problem.
Yeah. So
Are you sure you don't want to take down Ensign Billy Mitchell with you?
And just leave him there.
yeah, I was only suggesting that because last time I flew that one, and maybe that might help this time. But I don't know who else is for the co-pilot seat.
Well, I went down. My daring's 10, my con is 3, but I do not have an applicable focus. If you have a better roll, then by all means roll.
Oh no, I don't have either. We are very similar regarding flight competency. So yeah, go ahead, do it.
Okay, so I've highlighted daring, I've highlighted con. Focus used is no, because I don't have an applicable focus.
Mm-hmm.
Complication range is 2. Task roll is 1, because I'm just rolling to assist.
Correct. Exactly right.
All right. I don't know what the hell I just said, but hopefully that works.
Looks like we have a thing. 3. So you're going to get 1 momentum back.
Oh, should we spend that on the advantage for the phasers?
Yep, that would put you up to 2.
I think that we should do that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Cool. Stop it. Great, so you are now sans momentum. And that order has now gone out, and phasers are being rounded up all over the ship. See, okay, let me get to the right layer here. Yeah, I think this is only fair. I'm gonna spend 2 points worth of threat for a reason you'll find out later.
Oh dear.
But I will say that is a clutch play. That play, clutch. So if I wanted to do something about it, I felt like I had to expend a resource.
Okay.
So, great. You make it down onto the ship. It's a bumpy ride. The winds have let up a little bit from when you were last on the planet's surface a few hours ago. But it's still a pretty bumpy ride to get down. And you see the visitor center. It's almost like a Titan showed up and just stomped on it. But you do see that the plucky shuttle Rumpelstiltskin is still there, with its shield still up. It looked like it weathered most of the winds that were subjected to it. There may be damage on it, but you'd have to investigate it in order to really see. So, while that's happening and you are making this landing, we're going to cut back to the ship. Tahana, you grab the nearest computer and you start coding your butt off.
I actually probably go to either a science lab or to sick bay.
Sure, it's up to you.
Need those things. Hi, Captain. Sorry, we can't operate on your ear right now.
He's just sitting there kind of like a comatose Ronald Reagan.
Very good. So I guess I'm going to have to be leading this instead of assisting like I like to. I'm assuming my focus in computers applies.
I will allow that.
I have... Is this going to be just a single normal roll? Or is it going to be an extended task?
I'm going to say... We'll have it be a single roll. It'll probably take a little time, but you're not under any real pressure.
All right. I have computer expertise, which means when I'm programming or working with the ship's computer, I get an extra d20.
Okay, so you get one free.
Buy an extra d20 with threat.
Okay, I'll take a threat.
I'm assisting as well here.
Yep.
Cool.
What's my assist?
Cool. So the assist.
I'm rolling reason and science, unless I assume that's what I'm rolling.
I will allow Dr. Phlox to roll reason medicine to offer medical information about the brains.
Okay.
Brains.
None of my focuses apply, do they? The only one.
I'm going to say xenobiology in this case does not apply because you're only regurgitating fact.
Okay.
Yeah, if you had like modeling or something.
Yeah, I'm going to set the difficulty here to. I'll set the difficulty here to 2. This is not difficult at all.
All right. Well, here we go.
There's my roll.
Well, you're going to have a lot of momentum.
And because of untapped potential, because I bought a d20 with threat, I rolled a challenge dice, so I get an extra success.
So that's 4. Pretty damn good.
And I think you get a...
Yeah, there is the one complication.
And you get... whenever a character succeeds a task that they bought one or more dice with either momentum or threat, they may roll They may roll 1 effect die. The character receives bonus momentum. Oh, sorry, I didn't get an extra success. I got a bonus momentum.
Okay. Which is the same.
And I add 1 point of threat because I rolled an effect.
Got it. Cool. That's the untapped potential thing, right?
That's untapped. That's the first time it's gone off.
I just want to. Yeah.
And I believe.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's page 118.
Mhm.
Whenever the character succeeds at a task for which they bought one or more additional dice, which you did, you may roll a challenge die. They receive bonus momentum equal to the roll, and adds 1 point of threat if an effect is rolled. Which, yep, that all happens. Cool. So I'm going to net 2 threat off of that because of the complication and also the effect rolled.
So let's see, we succeed, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I would like to spend 2 of that momentum to create the scene, whatever it's called.
So create an advantage.
Yeah, create an advantage of we now have a computer model for figuring out this thing.
Perfect. So yeah, you have a live computer model with you can use to test hypotheses. That is excellent, and because of all of the research that you've done up to this point, figuring out what's going on is going to be incredibly simple. So yeah, you're able to create a functional model of not only the human brain, but of the bodies of somebody who might be affected by this thing. Using data, and actually using just biological data from everybody you have scanned, you've been able to come up with this thing. And here's what you find out. Base success, which you can use, and you can buy some additional momentum with this. This has an effect very similar to radiation poisoning. This is not cellular degeneration, though. This isn't something attacking someone's biology and corrupting it. This is almost like the cells are moving. Think like if someone were to take a magnet against metal shavings and watch the metal shavings dance. That's what you're seeing from this model that you've concocted.
So yeah, I'll say to Dr. Phlox, this isn't cellular degeneration. This is cellular realignment.
And it honestly sounds like some kind of energy source somewhere is emitting something causing this.
Or possibly drawing something to it.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to head back down to the planet's surface. Stepping through the rubble and the wreckage of the visitor center, that what once was a bright and vibrant and beautiful and welcoming place is now, it looks like it has just lived through a war zone, or it has now become a war zone. The struts have been snapped into, computers that were on are now flashing blue screen. There's sparks everywhere. It's an ugly scene. But you are able to make your way to the entranceway down deeper into the colony. Who is taking point? Who's doing what?
Yeah, the question would be, Lieutenant Shee, do you want to check on the other shuttle first, or do you want us to move further down?
Yeah, I was thinking about that myself. So just sort of taking a quick look at the shuttle when we initially land. The shields are working, so I know it's got some degree of functionality, but do I see any kind of damage or anything that would raise any alarms for me as an engineer looking at the shuttle from the exterior?
From the exterior, no. It looks like it can fly. If I'll put it to you this way, if you wanted to run a quick diagnostic on it, you'd have to get inside.
Okay, and to get inside, I would need to turn the shields off, and when I do that, would that expose the shuttle to the potential to be damaged?
Not currently. The winds that you are experiencing right now are not as bad as when the shuttle was being pummeled at its worst. So, if you were to deactivate shields, get inside, put the shields right back up, you'd be fine.
Okay, if I can do that, then yeah. If I could safely lower the shields, then I will go in and take a look at it.
Cool. Using the remote codes that you were handed by the Cardassian, you are able to quickly lower shields. And when the shields go down, it's like you are being blasted by a giant, like, rock and roll music video air cannon. As the protection from the shields drop, you feel the full force of the Category 2 hurricane winds hitting you right in the face. It's uncomfortable, but it doesn't knock you off your feet or anything. You're able to get onto the ship. Lights are off, and you can see that the ship does still have power to it. It is flyable. It would probably, I would say, I'll put this to you in game terms. Is it flyable? Yes. It will be more difficult to fly this thing out than it would be, or than it was getting it back onto the
Also, there's some sort of weird cross patching between the comm system and a computer.
Yeah, so you'll
done real quick.
Yeah, you'll probably have to you'll have to untangle that. So the difficulty would go up. If it was 3 reduced down to 2, it'd be 3 reduced up to 4.
My voice comes through the comm channel and it sounds very icy. And I say, I want to know who is responsible for this hatchet job that was done inside the shuttle with its communications array.
Is that broadcast, like, does it go just to you onto the planet, or does it go back up to the Griffin?
I wouldn't send it up to the Griffin. I'd send it to the rest of the landing party.
Yeah. So you hear, all of you hear a very icy, like, broken up by static, makes it even more menacing. As you hear Lieutenant Shee be like, "Who the living hell did this?"
So I just
I'm not down on the planet.
I exchanged a glance with Commander Strohm, like, glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, I respond, don't be too hard on him. We had an emergency going on. We will see how you fare in this emergency.
Whoever did this needs to sit in the corner and think about what they've done. I'll be out in a moment.
I did solve our communications problem. I'd like to point that out.
She's a perfectionist,
Yeah,
and you know, when she sees like hatchet jobs done and stuff done quickly, it's kind of her pet peeve. So that's
don't
where
worry.
that comes from.
This will all come out during the court-martial. It'll be
right,
fine.
exactly.
Yeah, I'd say if it's harder to get this thing off the planet, you might actually switch pilots so that Pilot Thus might actually get the damaged shuttle, and the rest of us might manage with the other shuttle.
Right. Do I need to roll for this diagnostic, or does it just happen?
I'll say that the diagnostic happened, just so we don't get bogged down in further and further rolls. Is it flyable? Certainly. Will it be harder? Yes.
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to attempt to sort of mechanically uncouple this and make it better, you could do that. That will take time. That will take precious time that you probably don't have. But it's up to you.
So, Commander Strohm, there's 2 choices here. I can stay out in the shuttle, get to work on the repairs, or I can come inside and assist you. It's your choice.
I'd say come with us. We need at least someone with some engineering and scientific ability to check on what's going on inside this colony. So the shuttle can wait.
Okay. I'll be out shortly. I'll secure the shuttle, step outside, turn the shield back on, and then rejoin the rest of the away team.
Okay. Yep, you rejoin them inside the shattered remains of the visitor center.
Does this place look structurally stable based on where I'm standing?
I think that the pause that I just gave there gives you some inkling of what the answer might be. Yes, it is structurally stable. If the winds start picking up again, that will change.
Okay.
So
Let's get moving.
you're not in immediate danger
Right,
now.
right.
But I am sitting on the 3 threat, so
Right.
keep that in mind.
Let's get moving. I think there was some kind of a huge door or something that leads deeper into the colony.
Yep.
So
It's
we
a
need to
door
go there.
Yeah, it's a door that's set into the floor. Because since the colony is built into the ground, you open this thing up and you start descending stairs that lead you deeper into the colony. You've taken this route before, so it's easy to retrace your steps. Now, you see, when you get to the town square, you haven't seen a soul since you got back onto the planet. But when you get to the town square where the celebration was held, it looks untouched from when you last were there, except you see Anthony Simmons on a park bench, with his phaser, with his Type 2 phaser across his lap, and he's cradling his head in his hands.
Okay, at a distance, I call him, Mr. Simmons. You're back.
He actually does the Sterling Archer, where he just puts a single finger up and doesn't even acknowledge that it doesn't turn towards you. He just puts it, wait, and he shakes his head a little bit, takes his phaser, and puts it into his holster. As a, apologies if I don't get up, Commander.
Are you hurt?
I have the worst headache I've ever had.
Yeah, sadly we have the good Dr. Phlox not with us this time, but I'm sure you will be fine.
Yeah, shot of bourbon and I'll be all right.
So, what happened during the storm down here?
I don't know. We've been hunkering down, with all everything that's happened recently. Most people have gone back to try to assess what happened.
Did anyone turn somehow violent in the last few hours?
Not that I know of.
That's a good thing to hear. I'm inclined to think that you are here well protected somehow. Don't
I
you
hope
think?
so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope something's out there looking out for us now.
So while Commander Strohm and Simmons are talking, can I just kind of
Sidle
cautiously?
over. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to make sure that the perimeter is secure, so to speak.
Oh yeah, you are the only ones here.
Okay.
I will tell you when the Jem'Hadar assassin shows up.
Lovely.
Wasn't it the town square where this statue was, the melting statue, or was it somewhere else?
That is where, in fact, you can see the melting statue still there. Just as disturbing as it ever was.
Yeah, well, then I might actually appoint Lieutenant Shee. Take a look at this. I suppose you might be interested in what's this all about.
Right, I'll approach and take a look.
Cool. Yeah. It's horrifying. The best way that I can describe it, imagine that a statue is made out of chocolate, and someone took a blowtorch to it.
Now, identify the. Do we have tricorders with us?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's on our character sheet.
Yep,
I'm gonna
everybody's got a tricorder with them at all times.
I'm going to use the tricorder to try to determine what kind of material the statue is made out of.
Cool. Yeah, it's mundane stone, stone that is that's native to this planet.
Do I have any idea what might have melted it?
If you let's make a tricorder scan. This will be reason science.
One moment. Let's see. All right, reason.
So let's
science.
Get Lieutenant Shee. Let's look to your.
I don't really see any focus that's applicable.
Focus isn't going to apply here. I'll put the difficulty here to 1.
Okay, so
yeah.
Focus use no, complication range is 1.
1.
And task roll is 1.
Task roll is going to be 2.
2.
You have 2 momentum, so if you want to spend one of those, you can grab an additional die. You can also pay for extra dice by giving me threat if you ever want it.
Okay. I don't think I want to do that.
Mm-hmm. And just for your edification, you can always, before you roll, invoke succeed at cost. I might not allow it in certain situations, but for most things, if there is if you're like, I want to guarantee success, so I will evoke succeed at a cost, which means no matter what happens, you will succeed. But I will automatically gain, or you will generate a complication in addition to any complications that you roll naturally.
Okay. I'm gonna use 1 momentum if the group doesn't mind, and go up to 3 dice.
Good idea.
So I think I've got everything in place.
3 dice.
Let me roll.
Okay. See what we got here. Bingo, 1. Exactly what you needed. So yeah.
Oh, I have a question. Doesn't the tricorder give you a focus? I vaguely remember reading that in the rules when I perused it.
You know what? I don't remember that, but for this, I will say yes. You can re-roll, but then
no, it's fine. I mean, one success is one success. It's not important now. I was just curious if anybody knew off the top of their heads.
Why don't let's put a pin in that, and we will look that up when everything's over, and we will remember it
right
for next time. Great, thank you. So here's what you find out with that 1 success. The stone is also this stone is being warped and affected at a molecular level. You see what looks like a wave going through, as if it's emanating from one point, like a shock wave going out, and you see this. You see the damage isn't the right word, but the mutation of the molecules of this stone cause it to effectively warp itself and liquefy effectively.
Okay, so this seems to be analogous to what we saw in the brain tissues of the impacted settlers.
It is analogous. Now, if you want more information, you have 1 momentum. You can spend that and ask me a question related to it, or related to the scan you've just done, and I will answer it.
I hate to eat all our momentum, but I would like to ask one additional question. Based on the patterns of cellular disruption that I'm seeing in the stone, can I determine a rough direction from which the wave emanated that impacted the stone?
That is totally something you can ask. Would anybody object to the spending of momentum?
Go for it.
Okay. So we spend that.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I knew there was some rule in there about the tricorder.
Okay, so basically you have a free momentum with which you can use for this.
So that's my question
Got
from
it.
the momentum I get from the tricorder.
So I'll give that one back. Yes, you can absolutely create a figure out where this would have been coming from, and using all the information that that you had. If the statue were intact, then it looks like it would have been centered on where the eye was. It looks like whatever happened, it emanated from there.
Okay. I'll relay this to the rest of the group as well as to I'll upload the data to the Griffin so the science team can take a look at it.
Cool.
But
Now
I'll-
you can also if you spend that last point, I will give you a pretty big bit of information that you as a player might not have, but your character would have access to from the meeting you were just in.
Any objections, guys?
Spend it.
Okay. It's a group effort, man. I'm going to ask as a courtesy.
Gotcha. So you're going back through, and when you think about the statue when it was originally intact, you remember that the eye was of a special material, a material that was previously unknown to the Federation, a material that you found underground when it stopped a phaser drill dead in its tracks,
Right.
and caused a tricorder to short circuit itself. This was the crown jewel of this piece. It was something that Dr. Belfont was working on quite heavily. She was studying it and sculpting it into this shape.
Okay. Now that we have an idea of what we're looking for, do I think that shields could be remodulated to protect us within the shuttle and or within the Griffin from these waves?
I will tell you that you don't think that would help because it looks like it's proximity based.
Okay.
This isn't like, you're standing 3 miles away from where a nuclear bomb went off, so you're going to get a little radiation. You got to be on top of it, or you have to be in close proximity to really have this effect happen.
Interesting, but yet it's still affecting us in orbit. How is that happening?
Maybe it is where the others are, in orbit. Maybe the colonists took it with them.
Yeah, maybe it is one of the colonists.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's ask Mr. Simmons. Do you know where this, what happened to this statue, and if there's something missing from the statue?
I thought that I told you already. She took it.
You mean Miss Shipley, yes?
I mean, this is not what it was looking at, or this is not what it was looking like, as he mentions, he motions to the statue a few hours ago. It was pretty beautiful, and it was a sign that, like, Sarah and I have our differences. I'm happy being where we are. I believe that the shepherd looks over us. But I guess you'd call me a deist, in that we control our destiny out here, but there's something watching out for us. Sarah's a fanatic. She believes in the real power of this thing, and she thinks that it manifests, that you can hold that power in your hand.
That's interesting. I had a little chat with her while we were on the Griffin, and she told me that the shepherd is nothing you can hold in your hands. It's more a kind of abstract thing that's looking out for everyone.
I mean, that's what I believe. But if so, then where's the eye?
Good question. Did you witness what happened with the melting of the statue?
No, everything was going on so fast, and it was only like a few, like I'd say an hour or so ago when I was sitting down here, like I was coming off of the worst hangover I've ever experienced. When I started to, I guess, think a little clearer about it.
Hmm. And your fellow colonists here, are they experiencing the same hangover effect?
I haven't talked with everybody, but it looks like a ghost town here. I'm assuming that if they're not licking their wounds, they're nursing what I got. Maybe it's just because misery loves company. And I hope that they're going through what I'm going through because this is torture.
Yeah, I think you need to get a strong drink very soon now.
Now, that's the smartest thing I've heard you say. I'll pick you up on that.
All right, and let's check on this Mr. Thos. Did you find anything here?
Sorry,
Thoughts?
I was muted. Sorry, I was muted.
It's okay.
Nope, I haven't found anything out of the ordinary.
So no one else showing up.
Nope, it is just you.
Well, Lieutenant Shee, what do you suggest?
So, I, the player, need to back up a second. There was an eye on the statue.
Yeah.
It was a different material from the rest of the statue, and it was something that the Federation had never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This eye is now not part of the statue anymore, and we think that it's been brought up to the ship.
It could be. When we were first on this colony, we found the drill problem. They actually excavated at least part of a kind of globe or something like that, and that shut down the drill. And not only that, it fried a tricorder. And we left them here, and that's actually the job for the geologist, Dr. What's name? Wait.
Dr. Belfont.
Belfont, yeah, and we left them at that because new material. Maybe it's important, maybe it's valuable. You never know. But no one actually thought that could be dangerous. And now we heard from Dr. Belfont that she took it, and that's what Mr. Simmons here told us. So it might actually be that the Miss Shipley took it somehow on the shuttle to our Griffin, and then might have the problem directly on board our ship.
The only thing that I can think of is that we could try to modify our tricorders and calibrate them to the specific wavelength that this material is giving off, and use that to ferret out where it is on the Griffin, and extricate it out of the ship, maybe just beam it into space and get it off the ship.
Could you send the signature up to the ship so that they can start the search right away?
Well, I already sent it. I already uploaded the data that I got off my tricorder.
Let's make it more urgent. Let's make it more urgent. Let's tell them that we have a very strong feeling about that the ship is actually compromised by this alien material.
Okay.
Cool. So you send a signal back to the Griffin.
Yeah.
Cool. So in the science lab, or in the medical lab, you see a communication beep come on from the planet's surface.
Yeah, I'll be there. Also, I figured out what the thing was. So I didn't see this, but apparently every senior officer gets a bonus. The thing about tricorders only applies if you are me, the operations officer, or the science officer. Otherwise, the chief engineer gets basically the advantage engineering department, which allows them to command all of engineering and gives them extra engineering personnel they can work with.
Okay,
Chief
so we
security gets the security detachment, which gives them extra security personnel they can work with.
so
Medical-
we owe the game master a momentum.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Flight control gets. You can use con instead of engineering when repairing technology related to basically thrusters, impulse engines, or warp engines, or repairing your con console.
That's useful.
So let's send at least our message to the ship, and then we might actually get to repair a little bit of the first shuttle and get both shuttles home.
So yeah, I'll. Lieutenant Tahana here.
Lieutenant Shee found some interesting data about the statue. You remember the one in the town square? Apparently,
I never went down to the town square. I was always in the visitor center.
all right, never mind. But you still remember maybe the globe they excavated at our first visit here.
The strange mineral, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, that is the thing that got removed from the statue, and there's at least a kind of hypothesis that the radiation that might cause the strange effects on the body of the colonists is sourced by this weird globe of alien material. So you get here the signatures she found, and maybe take a look if it got smuggled on board of the Griffin by one of the colonists.
Okay. I guess I will run a scan. Use internal sensors.
So what are you attempting here?
I'm just trying to. I'm going to use the Griffin's internal sensors to see if I can find a large concentration of that energy signature that they sent me.
Okay.
I will of course ask Dr. Phlox to help if he can.
Sure. Yeah. I'm assisting.
Doctor, Commander, if you wouldn't mind.
Cool. Yeah. So give me a. We'll say this is going to be a. Going to be reason plus science roll. I'll set the difficulty at this to. I mean, you know what you were looking for, so I'll set the difficulty to 1.
Well, I had my roll. I had a success.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that does not apply. I do not have any relevant focuses that apply. So I will just roll.
Nice. So that's going to be.
I only get 1. Sorry, I accidentally had focus used.
Okay, so one of the one momentum comes back.
Yep. Or I got 2 successes, not 3, is what I was trying to say.
Oh, got it. So I should get 2. 2 momentum.
And since I use the ship's internal sensors, I automatically get a bonus momentum, which is immediately spent for additional information.
Got it. So
because I am operations officer, I just found that out.
Congratulations on your promotion.
I mean, I just found out
That's
that
how things happen on this ship. You just randomly get promoted. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
no, I was already operations officer. I was just saying that was the
That was the
I
bonus
just found
thing.
out that each senior staff position gets you a bonus.
Like Oprah. You get a promotion, you get a promotion, everybody gets a promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Great. So you're able to use the frequencies and that you were sent up to try to see if you can determine if it is on the ship. The answer is yes. You do determine that those signatures are coming from the ship. And I will tell you this. They are not coming from the hangar bay.
Uh-oh.
Somehow they're not coming from the hangar bay, sir. Is that what my?
I'm telling you that.
Is that my bonus momentum spend? Is that they're not in the hangar bay?
That's the bonus.
Okay. I am going to pull out a. Oh shoot! I have a engineering tricorder. Ah, crap! I have an engineering tricorder.
Can I have it if you don't want it?
The engineering tricorder, because I just looked this up, gives you reduces the difficulty to find energy signatures, which is what I'm looking for, but it halves the range of a normal tricorder. And I need to use for the entire ship.
Yeah, well.
Dr. Phlox, can you order your nurses to start scanning for this energy signature?
Well,
I can't. I'm not in charge of anybody.
Before that happens, I'm going to spend 2 points worth of a threat to create a bit of a complication. Now, this is all going to get very wibbly wobbly, timey wimey here, as you realize that yes, the signature is on the ship. No, it's not in. It's not in the hangar bay where it should have been. That's when, the lights go out, and it takes a second until the emergency life support systems kick back on. The ship, and you can tell this because you know the ship's computer system very well, has suffered a drastic reduction in power.
Doctor, I would, sir, if I may make a recommendation.
By all means.
I would recommend that you get all of your nurses to use handheld tricorders to search for this energy signature. I'm going to hand you a pad. I'm going to try and fix the computers.
Absolutely.
Great. I'm not even going to have you roll for it because when you attempt to get into the computer system, you realize you are locked out. And you find that the control, quote unquote, of the ship has now been rerouted down to engineering.
Well, this is going to be done. I don't even have a phaser. Damn it.
Do we need to call all security and have them meet us down in engineering?
That is up to you.
I mean, I'd like at least 2 security officers.
We need to find the source of that energy signature.
Well, I'd imagine that there's a good chance it's currently in engineering.
Possible. Oh boy. I'm gonna see if the comm system is still working. We're trying to call up to the bridge.
The PA system is not really functional, but your comm badges do work.
Right.
So yes, you can comm badge up to somebody.
Right. Commander.
Commander Kassar here. Tell me you have good news.
Someone has locked out controls and rerouted them to engineering.
I would hardly call that good news, Lieutenant.
We're going to head down to engineering now, sir, but we would appreciate a security team and some phasers.
Aren't they under a two-person lock?
Oh yeah.
And the other person's on the planet's surface right now.
Yeah.
Oh
That's-
boy.
That's going to cause a problem.
Sir,
Who was the one who suggested this two-person lock?
That was me, sadly.
Do I have to emergency promote somebody again?
not necessary, sir. Just don't court-martial me. I'm gonna go see if I can hack into the security system and break the armory lock.
Hey, in my defense, at the time I made that suggestion, we had not decided who was going to go down to the planet. Okay.
True. Yeah.
So, you know.
So okay, you have that to deal with first, which is nice. So he'll say, "I'll have a security detail waiting for you down there. Please hurry." As you get, and now we're going to cut down to the planet's surface. We're going to actually, Commander Kassar is going to comm badge down to Commander Strohm.
Yep.
Kassar to Strohm.
Receiving. So, what's the situation?
The situation here is the ship is losing power rapidly, and we are locked out of most of our systems here. We need you back onto the ship immediately.
All right, we'll do that.
Commander,
Okay,
Commander, we may not have time. I can remotely direct the engineering team or someone else on how to override the security lockout. And at a game, I'd like to use collaboration engineering.
Okay.
So, whenever an ally attempts to task using that discipline, you may spend 1 momentum immediate spend to allow them to use your score for that discipline and one of your focuses.
Okay.
yeah, but actually, we need to get back to the ship in a hurry. So, and you will be piloting the other ship, the other shuttle.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Stupendous.
let's hurry back and then take care of engineering after that.
Lieutenant Shee, I'm just going to let you know that my character, in fact, has the security systems focus.
Oh, good. Okay.
For engineering.
Okay. Can I do both these things at once? Am I able to walk them through it while I'm piloting this ship?
I have the same engineering score as you and the security systems focus. I think.
Oh, okay. So you don't need me there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm redundant. I'm a vestigial organ. That's awesome.
You are not, sir. I cannot repair warp engines like you.
All right.
Yeah, we need to take off right away. No longer chit chat. Let's go.
Okay. I will run towards the Rumpelstiltskin because that's apparently the shuttle I'm flying. I will pass the data pad off with the shield code to Commander Strohm.
So you want to fly the damaged ship?
No, the Rumpelstiltskin. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I meant the Medusa. My mistake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I assist you with flying the Medusa and let the better pilot, Mr. Thus, fly the Rumpelstiltskin.
Cool. Now, I'm gonna be so. We'll take care of this a little bit later, but yeah, I'm gonna need piloting checks from both of you to figure out how you're gonna get back out of the back off of the planet and back to the Griffin.
So would I be able to take the lead and find the best path through the weather? Is that something I would be able to do? That would they benefit from that at all?
You have 2 momentum. I'll say that if you go first, and if you succeed, you can spend 2 momentum for the create advantage spend, which will reduce their difficulty.
That would help. Oh yeah.
Okay. And is this still the same difficulty that it was before? It's a difficulty
So-
2?
Thos, you're piloting the Rumpelstiltskin, right?
Yes.
So that is actually going to be a difficulty 4 because you are dealing with a ship that is damaged, and it's also got it's like computer, or it's like cables and guts hanging out as it was jury rigged. So this is going to be harder.
Wow. All right. So difficulty 4. So is that with or without my talent? Because I've got the talent to reduce.
That is without. So
okay.
So you would reduce it down to 3.
Okay. So that's still cutting it pretty close.
It is. So let
'cause
me
I think-
see. We may be able to help you out here.
Well, so as Tahana mentioned before, since I'm the flight officer, I'd be able to use my con ability to try to fix up engines. Would I be able to get the engines in better shape just long enough to get out of the weather, or is that stretching it?
I would allow it. It's going to cost you time, which, like, if it's something you wanted to do, you absolutely could. I would allow it. You'd have to make a roll for it. This is also one of the times when you could say evoke success at cost. So like, hey, I will succeed, but I could generate a few complications.
I think that's probably the way we're going to need to go with this, because I don't think we can spare the time, and there's nothing really we can do to improve the circumstances of the roll. So
you also have your 1 point of a determination.
Oh, determination! Yeah.
This is absolutely a point where you would want to use it.
All right.
If
So
it fits one of your values, that might
oh,
work.
absolutely. I'm going to use the don't interrupt me. I know what I'm doing.
I was thinking that one. So
Very
your
good.
point of determination goes away.
Yep.
And you automatically gain a die that acts like it has rolled a critical success.
Right. Okay. Great. All right. So then, I'll just make a regular roll for the rest of it.
Now you could like, why am I helping you? You have 2 momentum left, so if you wanted to juice this roll, you could. Now you could give me threat and buy some extra dice to juice that roll. You don't have to spend momentum.
So you know what I think, and I'm looking for your guys' input on this. I think it would make sense to buy 1 threat to get 1 extra die, so that we definitely have 2 momentum for the trailing ship to follow me and have an advantage.
Yeah,
And
do it.
one extra threat's not that bad. So so I'll buy 1 threat so I can roll 3 dice.
Yeah, do it. We'll
Done.
find out how bad it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So
now
3 dice.
Yep. So now last time the complication range was 2. Is it still the same?
I'm gonna say, see, I'd have to I'll spend that 1 point of threat that you gave me to keep the complication range at 2.
Okay. And my other question is, since I'm concentrating, and since that's how I'm kind of thinking of the value that I'm using here, can I use control plus con instead of daring plus con to represent my intense concentration?
I would allow that.
All right. Okay, so I've got complication range 2. I'm rolling 3 dice, and I am using a focus. Is that accurate?
What focus would you be using?
I would say either helm operations.
Yes, helm operations.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So here goes nothing. Well, okay, it's not horrible.
Okay, so all right, got it. So that means you got 2. So you're gonna get 2 points worth of momentum back.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a complication that is coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can spend those 2 points and avoid this complication, or just to put all of my cards out there, you're going to have such a bumpy ride that you're going to take stress.
I feel like we're headed for some kind of showdown, so we probably need to build up the momentum we've got. So I'm going to take one for the team because I'll be the only one taking the stress since I'm on my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take the stress so that the team can get the momentum.
Got it. Cool. So I'm going to do a thing. Do I have... I'm just going to roll one of these. I should make a Game Master character sheet that's just neutral for when I need to roll a challenge die like this. Screw it. Okay, so you're going to take... I'm going to say you're going to take 2 points worth of stress.
Okay. That's not so bad.
It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing. But I got to get out of this episode damaging somebody.
Yeah, and you're flying alone, so no one sees you sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm in my glory right now. I'll take a twisted ankle.
So I'm assuming you're going to spend 2 points to create the advantage.
Yes. Yep.
Cool. So that takes care of those. So Thos, oh no, Thos, you have already left. Lieutenant Shee and Commander Hans, you are taking the Medusa back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is at that point now. It was originally 3, and the advantage is going to reduce it down to 2. I'm not going to pay the threat cost to keep the complication range at 2, so it goes down to 1.
Okay.
All right. So, Lieutenant Shee, you need to take the helm. I might assist you.
Okay. So it's control and con.
Yes, this will be control con.
Okay. I don't think I have a relevant focus.
I don't think so either, but let me just double check.
But you might take one momentum for a third die. And let me roll the assist before anything. So I don't have any focus or so. Let's see how that turns out.
Just a straight pilot check.
Yeah, I'm not much of a help.
Okay.
That's fine.
So yeah, if you want, you can.
Does Strohm have any ability to use command to assist me?
No, not really.
Okay, I'm just curious. Like I said, I don't know how the game works, so.
Yeah, I could actually help you if you have some security trouble.
Okay. All right. No, so no focus, complication range of 1. We'll burn 1 momentum to get an additional die, so my task roll will be 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Let's see what happens here.
Not bad.
Okay, that is 2. So I'm going to say, because I would like, you have an even bumpier ride as you follow in the Rumpelstiltskin's slipstream, and you find that the wind in his wake closes up behind him much faster than you had otherwise anticipated. So yeah, it becomes. Oh wait a minute. It was 3. It goes down to 2. So that's exactly right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was a success.
Yeah. Okay. So you actually just got it.
Okay.
So rewriting that a little bit. Yeah, it is. You're white knuckling this helm the whole way.
Yeah, this is not my core competency.
Right. Yeah. You're being thrown around like an inner tube at a water park. Just boom, 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 boom. And Strohm, you have to do whatever's best to hang on. But eventually, you break atmo, and both of you are in space. Docking with the ship is not a problem. While this is going on, I'm going to bend the rules slightly, because you have successfully identified the cause. You have identified what is happening here, but I'd like the group, while you are in transit, to figure out, or if you want to, figure out what your solution is. What are you going to do with this thing? Or how are you going to stop it from causing more havoc than it already has?
Well, we still haven't found it yet, correct?
You have not physically found it yet. You know what you were looking for, and you know what it does. You know that sustained close proximity exposure to it causes this issue.
And we're aware of the situation in engineering. Is that right?
Assuming so, yes. Assuming that, yeah, everybody has been informed. You know that engineering is in trouble right now.
Can we bucket brigade it to the transporter room and then transport it into space?
Or maybe communicate with it. Yeah, you know.
So if that's a thing,
it might be some kind of intelligence we don't know yet.
Well, I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of lean back on what I was thinking before. Is, you know, that may be true, but in the meantime, it's going to have this effect on everyone near it. So we've got to do something to mitigate the effect it's having on people, and if that means increasing the distance from it to people, I think that should be our first priority, and trying to communicate it with it would be second.
Would it be?
My plan was to put it in a high, extremely powerful, high energy containment field